I believe that having a healthy body directly correlates to like a healthy mindset. I'm not sure if you guys watch this one guy, Brian, the guy who's like trying to reverse age himself. Brian Johnson or something. He doesn't look well. He's very pale. Everyone can build such a good foundation. All you need is a barbell, dumbbell. You just need iron.
And a woman that broke
up with you. That's all you need. You're hungry. Like, you're getting like irritated. You're like, when's my next meal? I see like this old dude in the gym. Oh my God, he gets me so angry because he's like, he's doing his face pulls.
So the question from our previous guest, I'm going to say this elegantly. What is the importance of love?
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big podcast. This is the show where we talk about the simple and yet complicated ideas of self-improvement. Tune in and join us as we become the best versions of ourselves just so that you guys can too, and always remember to like and subscribe for more. Today we were fortunate enough to find an online/in-person fitness trainer who has practically perfected his physical craft and along with the mental craft. So with that being said, Lance, come on in.
Turn it up. It's good. See you guys.
The physique speaks for itself.
Thank you. All right, so pleasure to be on here today.
Dude, thank you for coming on.
For having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, bro.
Awesome.
Thank you. Definitely have a lot to dive in with you. I mean, we've had a lot of personal trainers on the podcast before, but this is you're one of the few that actually are like really closely resonated to our age. So there's definitely a lot of things that you can relate to us with. And for starters, you're 20 years old, right?
Yeah, 20 years old.
Yeah,
I'll be 21 in December.
And how long have you been working out for?
I've been working out for about 4.5, almost 5 years now.
Wow. So you got into it young. How did that happen?
So I actually first started about like 7th grade. So a little bit more than 4.5 years, but I only count like when I was like consistently going to the gym.
Okay.
So when I like first started going, my dad taught me. It was in our basement, and we started with like a little home gym and like a curl bar. So he taught me how to do like bicep curls for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that moment, like deep down, I fell in love with it because we started like going down like every other day, just training like chest, arms, a little bit of shoulders and back, rarely hit legs. So my dad taught me at a young age to always skip legs.
And it was with what? Just like the easy curl bar?
Yeah, easy curl bar, and I was like arm dominant for the longest time, and I think back to it is because I was always training arms.
That's a pretty good thing.
The results speak for itself.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
It's the arms, and then everything else was catching up. But I took a little bit break from lifting. It really started back up in 10th grade. So I remember 8th grade, I was doing wrestling, and that kind of took away my time from really lifting. I was still like in shape though. And then from wrestling, I got a little bit of a head injury, and my parents actually wanted me to stop doing wrestling, even though I wanted to continue with it. But instead, what my dad said I could do is boxing, which is crazy because I got a head injury from wrestling. So he's like, okay, how about you get punched in the head? But we have
That's
pads,
quite the solution,
so
right?
It's okay. But yeah, no, I started boxing for a year. Absolutely loved it, honestly. And I think the only reason like I didn't keep going with it was because my dad had like a knee injury, and he really couldn't. You know, he's just getting older, and he really couldn't.
You had to be there to take care of him.
So I was like, I couldn't afford it at the time. I was a freshman, just starting up with like work as like being a busboy. You know how typical freshmen start work.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So as I was doing that, working part time, you know, at a diner, COVID hit, or I think it was like right before COVID hit. It was like I quit boxing because I was like, I kind of want to get back into like working out, but working out the right way. So me and my other friend, he's like another like skinnier guy. Cause I was always a skinny kid trying to get bigger. Like I went through overweight phases, but in general, like I was always kind of on the smaller side. And I was like, I finally want to pack on some muscle. So, and it was like that driving force. Like I remember I got so into it in 7th grade and then just stopped for sports. I was like, maybe I should take this to be my sport. Cause it took me so long to find out like what I truly loved. I tried martial arts and everything, you know, boxing, wrestling, and I just couldn't stick with anything really. And that's what weightlifting, like I felt like I was finally able to stick with that, because like seeing the progress from even just like I was doing like Planet Fitness. I was literally at Planet Fitness doing like half squats on a Smith machine. I feel like we all like have those days where like we were starting and like we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And it's the beauty of like not knowing what you're doing, because each day you get to improve. You get to go back. Even if I was half repping on squats, I was still doing something. And then COVID hit. And it was like right at March. It was probably like 6 months I was going to Planet Fitness. I really didn't see any progress compared to what I truly did like from COVID. But it got me into the habit. And it set like a good foundation for what was to come. So I actually like put COVID as like my start date, like that March when like we all had that announcement at school where it was like, hey, we're gonna get like 2
close
weeks
it down
off.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
oh, everyone
down
can.
for 2
That
weeks.
hit so
yeah,
hard.
I can never forget that.
Dude, fucking great feeling. Actually,
Yeah, I know.
amazing. I was
It's
like, oh, the
crazy.
world's like fucking collapsing, falling down, but I get 2 weeks off from school, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, it was like so exciting. Everyone's cheering, and then we go home, and then, I was just kind of chilling. I didn't really know what to do, and then we get the notification or like the announcement that school is actually closing.
Yeah, that's
and
It was like 2 more weeks. 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more weeks, and it's just like just have the entire like this is your early summer. So I was like, I didn't really know what to do because the gym shut down. Planet Fitness, which I think is honestly like looking back at it, I think that's the worst mistake like the government and like our state could have made, is shutting down the gyms. It's almost in a like a way, and I don't mean to get all conspiracy like, but it's like being healthy is like the number one protector from the sickness, from COVID. And they shut down gyms and kept us at home to where
Dude,
we
they
like,
knew everything, bro. They did that on purpose. They knew
they did
what
that
were
shit
doing.
on purpose because they want us to be fat. They want us to be unhealthy. But there were 2 groups from COVID that I really recognized, and it was literally like 10% was the people who actually like used COVID to get in shape by any means necessary, and then there was the 90% that really let COVID get them out of hand.
Yeah.
And my brother was working out too. He started when he was 18. He's 28 now. And he was like, hey, how about I get a squat rack, a barbell bench, and a little bit more weight for downstairs. Cause I had that easy curl bar in the basement, but we didn't really have anything to build like strength and just like the big 5, like overhead press, squats, deadlifts, all
Bench
that good
too,
stuff.
yeah.
The barbell bent over row or pull-ups, like we couldn't really do any of that. And I remember when my brother, like we were playing tennis and we would literally like go to the tennis court and there was like a little opening where we would just do pull-ups and see how many we could do each time. Like that's like a core memory of me doing pull-ups, and it was like 4 reps, and it was just like that desire to do more reps on the little like makeshift pull-up bar from the tennis court. So he got the barbell and all the equipment, and we were, because previously I was going maybe 3 days a week doing like a push-pull legs, and then like we really amped it up. We were like, okay, how about we do like 5 times a week? And that was a push-pull legs, push-pull, skipping the second leg day, following the typical gym bro tradition. But then I was like, I'm gonna do the push-pull legs. So I was literally going like, we were going 6 days a week. And that 6 days a week, like, I came back to school, like, once we were doing, like, half virtual, half in person, and people were like, yo, dude, like, you got big. And I saw, like, a few other people who, like, also got big, and I'm like, that's crazy that, like, I had other people that were, like, also working that hard during COVID. And I think that's when I truly fell in love with lifting, was just seeing that progress, seeing me get leaner and bigger at the same time. And most people could say you can't get bigger and leaner at the same time. Like, you can, you just don't got your diet in check. And that's where it really comes into, like, my biggest thing was, like, I've tried restrictive diets before. I've tried going, like, lower on the carb, lower on the fats, and that didn't get me to where I truly wanted to go. It just left me, because there came to a point where, like, this was, like, senior year, where I was going 160, 170, 160, 170, 160, 170. I'm like, dude, I'm not changing. Not a single thing is changing. And I think that led up to me doing 75 hard for the first time. And this is, like, 75 hard was post getting certified. As soon as I left high school, my goal was to be a personal trainer. And I actually met Mitch, who you guys also had a podcast with. Yeah, shout out to Mitch. I met him through my brother. My brother met him through Bucks at college because I was going to Bucks, or about to go into Bucks that after that summer. And I met him, and he was like, yo, once you get certified, man, you're out of school, like, come to me. And for the next 6 months, I was like, I just got to get past school. I got to study. And I graduated, got certified through NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, as a certified personal trainer in 12 weeks. And I hit up Mitch, and it was crazy because I was like, this was me starting as a personal trainer. And wow, it was a harsh reality because I started with him, and he's like, okay, cool. And I was like, I'm kind of lost. And I messaged him, like, so, like, when do I get clients? He goes, as they come in. And I'm like, I low-key thought, like, going into it, I was like, I thought I was going to get fed clients. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I was like, what do I do now? Like, I honestly, like, kind of worried because, like, I was working at Wawa, and I'm like, I don't want to work at Wawa forever. Like, how do I get clients? So I was kind of lost, and I had a few steady clients. I was probably, like, out of everything, I was, like, making maybe, like, 10,000 my first year of actual, like, personal training. And it's just, like, kind of demotivating because in the field you start with nothing. You know, you're in a field where you are paying, you know, you're asking people for money for something they don't want to do, and it's hard. You know, it's possibly one of the, like, the hardest, like industries to get in because of what you're charging for, because you have to convince people to train with you. So that took a while to, you know, eventually, like, build that foundation. But anyways, back to like the whole my, like, lifting thing. I finally did 75 hard, because that was a challenge. Actually, Mitch again recommended me, and, you know, he was like, I'll get you your next certification if you do it, which is my bodybuilding and physique certification for, like, prepping bodybuilders and stuff like that. And he said he would. He's like, I'll make a bet you get it done, and I will get it for you. So I started 75 hard, and I made it up to day 23, and I failed. And the reason why I failed is because I didn't take a progress picture. So if you guys don't know what 75 hard, like, exactly entails, it's a progress picture every single day, 2 workouts every single day. One has to be indoors, 45 minutes each, and one has to be outdoors. The outdoor one was hard. And then you have to do a gallon of water a day, 10 pages of a book, nonfiction book or, like, self-improvement book. And then, oh crap, what was the other one? I believe it was, I haven't done it in a little bit.
I'm assuming just something associated with the diet.
Choose a diet. No cheat meals. So you have to choose a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol, and I believe that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was I failed, and then, you know, when you fail, it's kind of like very, like, demotivating. You're like, damn. And then, like, that's when I started, like, a little bit of a binge, and, like, I took the rest of the year off. It was like December I failed, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna start, you know, January. And, you know, that kind of comes back to restrictive diets. Like, I was following not that restrictive of a diet, actually. I was more so going through one that my mentor recommended me, which is adding more to my diet. And adding more to my diet by fruits and vegetables with every meal. That was my diet. And once I started back up, you know, I was already seeing a crazy change in my body with, like, little to no weight loss or weight gain. My body was naturally putting on muscle while burning fat at the same time. So I started again January 1st, and I went 12 days in, and then this one was I think this was a primary reason, honestly, for where I'm at now. And it was when, like, 12 days into 75 hard, the second time through, my girlfriend of, like, 2.5 years, like, broke up with me, and that kind of, like, flipped the switch for me. I literally remember the day she broke up with me, I drove home and went on my 45-minute walk, you know, just, like, crying, because it was like, what else am I gonna do? I can't. It was more of that was, like, probably the reason why I got done, because I was like, I can't go back, you know. And at the same time, I actually started my online training business, Broken Limits, right after 75 hard, and this was, like, during college and everything. And college, I felt like I wasn't learning either. It was like a really big hit, and a lot of different like changes in my life, and I'm just like thinking to myself, and I came up with the conclusion that I need to start this business. I need to hire a mentor, and I'm going to take a gap year from college, and I have to make it work, or I can't go back. Plan A was I either be successful with my own business and blackout training, online and in-person trainer, or I fail. I go live out on the streets, because my goal was like, I can't go back to college. I wasn't learning.
What were you going for?
I was going for exercise science.
Okay.
Exercise science was my.
But you wanted to be a personal trainer, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be a personal trainer, but I actually like also wanted to see if I could transfer to Westchester, but it's like everything was going to be so expensive, and
Did you go to college though?
You don't need to go to college. Like honestly, social. My parents wanted me to. Everyone was going to. Everyone told me to. It was kind of just like expected that you were going to go to college. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college, get a degree, and
broken formed.
yeah. Like I was literally doing what other people wanted to, and I was like, okay, like bucks is cheap. I'll get my associates, and then kind of go from there. Maybe I'll get my bachelor's or master's at Westchester. And I was looking at like prices, payment, because I wanted to be a registered dietitian too. And I was like, dude, like a $60K a year salary for a master's degree, where they literally like rip you off most of college. You're gonna be paying for that for so long. You're gonna be in debt for so long, especially at Westchester. And I was just like, for a master's, it's like I don't think that's worth it. So that's like why I started my own business. I'm like, I got to make it work, because like if I invest,
all in, right?
Go all in. You got to go all in. So that's what I did. I spent $5,000 for a year of coaching, and I learned a pretty significant amount to go from zero to, I believe I was hitting like $2,000 months in my business, but I feel like I wasn't all in, and I did 75 hard. I came out like really good. I looked good. I felt good, but then I was like, I need to go on a bulk and like commit. So I was really committing to two things: my business and bulking up, because down the line I really wanted to compete. And I felt like I was stuck in my fitness journey, and I was helping so many other people with theirs, that even though as a fitness coach, I felt like I needed a fitness coach. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand the benefits of actual coaching. And when I tell people I have a coach, people are like, why do you have a coach? You're a fitness coach. Shouldn't you know how to do it yourself? I'm like, I do. But having that second set of eyes really just helps.
1,000%.
And going to the gym without thinking. I go in, do what I'm told, like essentially do what I'm told, get out, and I see the progress from it, and same with like diet and everything like that. So I bulked up. I got pretty heavy in November to 186.
What'd the bulk look like? What were you eating?
Bulk was 30. I actually wasn't really tracking my calories on my bulk. I was like around
cereal, chocolate.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the worst bulk. I was eating a lot of meat. It was like literally 3,200 to 34,000 calories, and I'm not a very like tall person.
Yeah,
I'm 5'7". I was gaining at a pound per week, so. It was, yeah, not 5'7". Dude, that's what it says on my license. That's what all the doctors said.
I'd get a new license if I were you. That's it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm not like taller, but 3,200 to 3,400 put in about pound per week, because I've done like the dirtier bulks, and I did let this one kind of get out of hand. And then like in November, I told my coach, I'm like, okay, I think I want to start getting ready for a bodybuilding show. And what we did was we started my cut back in November. So I've been almost cutting for over about a year now, and my show's in November. So we did something called pre-prep fat loss, and he originally wanted me to do spring 25 because of like he wanted me to have a higher like period between pre-prep fat loss and prep. So pre-prep fat loss is when you're at a higher body fat percentage and you do a slower like fat loss phase to get you in like prep shooting range, because a lot of people make the mistake of going on prep when they're at like 15+% body fat. Like, no, go on prep when you're at 12% body fat, so that way you can lose slower during prep, so that way you're maintaining a lot more muscle mass. And that's why I'm maintaining so much mass at a leaner body weight, because I really took my time with it. So I finished pre-prep fat loss and 75 hard part 2, and I took a 4-week break, a 4-week maintenance calorie break, and went to Costa Rica. Had vacation there, and right
For a
after
month?
that,
That's crazy. Yeah.
no, yeah, and I came back, and a moment of realization occurred after Costa Rica, that I won't get too into on this podcast, but it made me realize a few things, and that at that moment, my business mentorship stopped, and I was posting every day on social media, but I couldn't break past 3K months in my business. And I'm very open with finances and how much what the business is making, how much I'm making and everything. I don't think that's anything a guy should be frowned upon. But it was I finally hired a business coach, and I started prep at the same time. So I was kind of pouring my energy between two things, and just that. So it was prep as soon as I got back from Costa Rica, and I hired a new business coach, and that business coach costed almost 10 bands. So I was you know what? There's
That's a lot.
Oh yeah,
That
man.
probably
And it
makes
was
you work harder though, don't you?
I backed myself into a corner. I pretty much put almost all I had into that. And I was
Yeah.
they were hey, we have a $15,000 guarantee. And I was fuck it. What else am I going to do? I just spent that much. I didn't tell my family. I told my brother, and my now girlfriend, and I was and a few best friends. And my brother looks at me, are you kidding me? And I was you see, I'm
Dude,
in
yeah,
a place where I'm
take
gonna
risks.
I'm gonna make risky decisions. I'm I have a little bit of money. I'm gonna put that money into myself, and I'm tired because I used that year from my other business coach, and I didn't do well. I got to 0 to 3K monthly, but it's I'm not doing well as I should have. And as soon as I got in there, my first month I came out hit my first almost 5K. It was 4.9.
Nice.
Second month, 5.4, and then my third month barely scratched 5, but I finally came out with 15,000
Let's go.
over the 12-week period, and that was because I believe that I put myself into the corner, and I finally realized I'm working, and I also attribute it to prep as well, prepping for the bodybuilding shit. Once you master the control of your body and the discipline here, that directly correlates to your work ethic, and that's why you see a lot of jacked people who are successful. It's because you have to master your body, and then I feel that comes with the financial aspect comes with it. And I know there's a lot of unhealthy people who are successful, but for me, I believe that having a healthy body directly correlates to a healthy mindset. They both
For sure.
go hand in hand. And I believe that you can't, go without, that being healthy like that, and focusing on your physique. And I know a lot of people make the jokes you don't work with me unless you have a 6-pack and stuff, the Andy Elliott shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, part of me in a way believes that you need to take care of your body. And people who don't take care of their body end up regretting it later on. I'm not sure if you guys watched this one guy, Brian, what's his name? The guy who's trying to reverse age himself. I forget his name. Brian Johnson or something.
What
But
is he doing?
yeah,
Reverse aging himself.
huh?
Wait, he's reverse aging himself.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he is completely focusing on his diet and everything, and he talks about how he sacrificed so much with his business, and he's I sold my business and then just wanted to. He's almost experimenting on himself with different anti-aging techniques in his diet and these supplements that he's taken, and he actually has proof that he has slowed his aging to an 18-year-old healthy male, and it's crazy. And he's focusing all on his health, and
And how old is he?
he's 50s. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's 50s, and he does this red light therapy and stuff, and he's
He takes
really
100
taking.
supplements a day though. He takes a lot.
Oh
of
yeah,
supplements.
he goes too crazy with it, but it just shows the importance of
That's where they test things though, with the supplements and what he eats and stuff.
And it's just he's kind of being a lab rat on himself for us, and I think that's actually so amazing. People hate on him. He's this is the unhealthiest healthiest looking 15-year-old 50-year-old, because he looks 18 and like 50 at the same time. Like he doesn't look well. He's very pale, but he's like his function is through the roof. Yeah, because of just how healthy he is. He's
I know what you're
fasting.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah, he's fasting and doing all these like unique things, and I just think it's so awesome how someone who literally went through like a period of his life where it was all just business and health, and no health, and now he's doing all health, you know, because I believe that you truly can't like have it all. Like you can't just go full in on business without having like health and what's it called, like social. There's like the three things for me is like your social life, your health, and your financial life, and your like business. And I'm always trying to find a balance of those three. Right now it's like more so on health and business, and then the social side struggles, you know. And it's like I don't believe I can truly be happy until you made like all three balance, like having friends in your life that support you, and a loving like a girlfriend or a wife that supports you, and then having that like body that you want to be in, you feel like you're comfortable with, and then being financially successful. Once you can balance all three of those out, you can officially like at least I can say I will truly be happy and accomplish once I can manage all three of those things, you know.
Yeah.
But
I will speak on that matter. When you say truly be happy, like I hate that fallacy, man. You know, trying to say I won't be happy until this is achieved, but I mean life is meant to be lived in the present. So when you say that, do you generally say like right now you're not happy?
I mean,
because you don't have all three?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that a part of me feels like I'm missing something. I'm not going to say I'm not happy, but I believe that, like, there are times, and I know this is part of life where there's times where you won't be happy and times where you will be happy. And I know it goes up and down, but I believe at my happiest, I've realized that those three things in my life were at balance. You know, where my financial life was in balance, my business was in balance, but at the same time, I had friends that I was seeing and contacting and hitting up. Because I find I'll start to like lose focus when it's just my body image, my health, and my business. Because then I start to realize I'm like, I don't have anyone right now. And then that starts to make me unhappy.
Kind of like get lonely type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel everyone goes through that phase where it's like you're so focused on yourself that you haven't hit up your best friend. I literally would go like months without talking to my best friend or my friends, and I'm like, I need to balance out this part of my life, and even if I had to sacrifice other parts, say like make a little less, I would be okay with that because I felt like I was completing that like triangle of those three things that I really needed in my life to be happy. And I believe that once you do balance those three things out, you can be in a happier state. Not saying right now I'm not happy, but I'm at my happiest right now because I feel like I am balancing that state out, you know?
I like what you're saying. I would just say, just don't forget in the moment to also appreciate what you do have, because at the end of the day, anything can happen.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Lose. So, I mean, I totally agree. I would say the better way is I'm not satisfied.
I'm not satisfied. Yeah.
But I'm still happy. Like, I
definitely,
love my life,
yeah.
You know, I'm so thankful for.
No, I like the way that you're putting it. I'm definitely like I'm happy, but just I feel like
you can do more.
Yeah,
you
definitely,
100%.
Yeah. No, I like the way you put that.
Perfect. We're seeing eye to eye.
Dude, you gave us so much to work with there. That
right now I gasped for like a good amount.
But listen, honestly, such an interesting story. I have so much to comment on. I want to start by taking it all the way back to the beginning where you said that literally all you started with was that easy bar curl in the garage with your dad, and like that's such an inspiring thing to me, because when it comes to like actually putting like your foot forward in this like whole fitness journey, I like to believe that it's literally just cutting one excuse out at a time. And for this scenario, a lot of people like to say, but gym equipment is really pricey and I don't really want to order it. Or they say, I don't really like going out to public gyms because I'm a germaphobe, or maybe I don't like being in public crowds or whatever. Like, there's always something that your mind can think of. There's really no limits when it comes to that aspect. So when you can cut one excuse out at a time, and it starts by literally like that's why I'm saying what you did is really so beautiful, because people can't just say, but I don't have all the gym equipment for it. Like, no, like all you started with is, even if you didn't have an easy bar curl, 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day, and 100 pull-ups a day. Well, 100 pull-ups a day is crazy, but like that's literally all it fucking takes sometimes. And that's what I think is like, it's fucking beautiful. Like, there's just as the journey continues, there's like one excuse over the other that you just need to cut out, and that's one of the first ones that's
Yeah, no, I love that you point that out too, because yeah, people make excuses about starting. I built my foundation like 2 years. I didn't go to a public gym until 2 years into lifting, and that was just
that's a lot.
Yeah, no, I was literally in my basement with my brother for 2 years, just like
came out as Bane.
yeah, right. And people were like, "How'd you do that?" And I'm like, dumbbells and a barbell.
Literally,
and now I'm like more machine focused because I'm getting meticulous because of bodybuilding. But everyone can build such a good foundation. All you need is a barbell, dumbbell. You just need iron. And even then, if you don't have that, push-ups, sit-ups,
And
your body and a will. Yeah.
That's
What did you say?
And a woman that broke up.
And a woman that broke up with you. That's all you need is
Yeah.
your body, woman that broke up with you, and heavy ass weights.
And then like you also mentioned with the 75 hard thing that you did the 45-minute outdoor workout. What would that look like?
Oh, my 45-minute outdoor workout would either be tennis or honestly walking. Well, I consider walking a workout because exercise walking is the and people overlook it. Honestly, like all you need for weight loss, bro, is walking and a calorie deficit. You don't need to lift weights. Lifting weights can, obviously will raise your basal metabolic rate and all that good stuff because putting on, the muscle will burn extra fat, raise your metabolism. Even if it is to a smaller degree, but it helps. And then once you cut off the fat, you have like a nice aesthetic looking physique. But if you don't like that, go on a walk and eat right. Bro, that's all you got to do.
I can play sports too. Maybe not if you're like a golf or baseball player, but like excluding those two, like, any sport,
especially golf.
Definitely not golf. That's why
they drive around everywhere.
But the idea is fat. Yeah. Well, like the reason I'm bringing it up is like even there's no excuse for that too. Like nobody's taking the outdoor away from you. It's not like one day you're gonna wake up and the sky is fucking on fire. Maybe if you live in like downtown Atlanta and you're in the hood, maybe you shouldn't be going outside. But other than that, like there's no excuse to it. Fuck Northeast Philly too. Maybe don't go outside. Stick to the garage. But besides that point, like. It's so easy to come up with like these excuses, and when you really like look into them, they can all be broken down so easily, just like one at a time. So I hate it when people try to tell me that they don't have enough time for their journey. Like, and you as a trainer, I'm sure you can resonate with this the most. Like when you go out and you try to like sign new clients on and everything. What are some of the excuses you hear? Just like fucking. I want to just brainstorm a bunch of them right now.
All right, you want my top 3 with my niche, which is like younger guys, and like I'm trying to target more younger guys like us, where we actually want to achieve shit.
Okay.
What was that?
No, definitely one is time.
Time.
The other is money.
Fuck?
No, I'm trying to guess. What's the third
you're guessing.
one?
Okay.
What's the third one? Is time, money too?
Time, money,
and third. What do you think the third is?
Wait, what's the
excuse?
What are the top 3 excuses? He said time, money. The third is gonna be.
Oh, this bad.
There's 2 different money aspects though. I feel like because if you're targeting, if he's targeting if he's targeting kids our age, there's 2 sets of money for it. It's money for the program, and then it's also money for buying the ingredients to bulk up with. So I feel like I could break those 2 down separately. Or do you want to count that?
What's the third?
Oh fuck, man.
I get a lot of I have to think about it. Literally just people who spam me with I have to think about it.
That's any sales process.
Anyone
that's done cold outreach will know that.
But if I had to say number 3, it would be the will to do it. I tell them it's hard. It is hard, and people don't want to do the thing that's hard. And I let them know on the call. I'm like, this is not a Band-Aid or a temporary, solution to like where when you're done with me, I get your picture of you in a 6-pack and you get going and then gain all the weight back. Like, no, this is the full solution, and whether that takes 12 weeks or 6 months, I teach them, I educate, and I make sure that like when people come back to me, I do have clients that come back to me and they say like, I'm ready to take it to the next level, not I need to drop the weight again, because I teach them exactly how to keep the weight off. It's not a get out of my program and gain it all back, which I think so many coaches in the industry are like. And they don't talk about that part. When they're done with their clients, they come back because it's a vicious cycle of like, I don't want you to graduate. I want you to keep going in with me. But when a client for me graduates, that is a direct reflection that I did my job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they are happy.
There's That in my opinion though, like that when people say I'm not willing to do it, that's actually just a blessing in disguise for you. Like it sucks losing a potential prospect or whatever.
And I'm not chasing
and
you.
I'm not gonna like say, oh, it's a great thing I just lost a client or anything like that. But when it comes to the whole idea, like when you're in the consulting space, you want your clients to actually have the results you promise that they'll have. That's more testimonials, that'll lead to more credibility, and that'll lead to more sales as a whole, right? So when people are honest just right off the bat and they say like, I'm not really willing to do this. It also sucks to hear like, hey, I can't really help this person out if they're not willing to do this. But the reality is like when you're selling a done with you service, you can't charge as much as if I gave you a service that's done for you, right?
Exactly.
Or do it yourself. So in your case, it's actually a much better thing when people tell you like, yeah, I can't do this, because realistically, it's more likely just going to lead to a path where that's a failed testimonial for you, and that's never really a good look. And of course, you can always change the way someone looks at someone, but like if I'm selling water, right, and I'm out in the pier and I say, hey, you want a water? And the person tells me they're not even thirsty, then there's nothing to work with in the first place, right?
Exactly.
So then I just move along. I like to think that this is the same like analogy.
Exactly, man. And it's just like, I've had clients where like they join in, they come in strong, and it's about the 4-week mark where you start to get like spotty communication and they start to drop off a little bit. And I understand because I've been in that process before where I'm not as communicative with my coach, and it's just like you need to be there for your client because it all comes back to you at the end of the day. You know, I always say it's half and half. Like you have to meet me in the middle or this isn't going to work, you know, but at the same time, you have to think to yourself, and this is not all cases, but this just helps me improve as a coach. Again, it's like stressful thinking like this, but at the same time, it's how do I improve? You know, and I'm like, I didn't get my client this result, and they even admit it, it's their fault. But I, as a coach, should have done something better to make them want it more or like change their psychology in some sort of way. And that's where I'm like, it's not your fault. Like, even though it clearly is, and especially from other people's, like, eyes, it's like, they didn't put in the work, Lance. You gave them, you texted them, you called them, you did everything you possibly could. They just didn't want it bad enough. You know? And that's where it's like, I don't have time. You do have time. It's just not a priority. And that's okay when it's a priority. And I have people who I'll, like, literally message, and I'll be like, yo, like, I have a few spots opening. Do you want to join up? And, you know, I, like, help you. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm in school right now. I just don't really not working a lot. I just don't have the money. It's not a priority. I go, that's okay. You know, that is okay. It is not a problem for fitness to be your number one priority. But I do believe that, like, it should be in your life at all aspects. You know, if it's not a priority, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. Like, right now, it's like, I've had moments where it's not a priority, but right now it's like a big priority because I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show. It doesn't always have to be the number one, because I understand like family, business, you know, those are usually 1 and 2, and then number 3 could be fitness, but you should always have it because you need to take care of yourself. You people our age and, you know, start to get older, and they treat this body like you can throw it away and replace it when you get older. Like, no, you die with this body and you'll lose it forever. So why treat it like a piece of shit? You should be treating your body with so much care, and you should view your body in a way where it's like, I am so proud of what I've been able to accomplish, because I struggled with my confidence and my body image my whole life, and now I can finally look in the mirror, and it's not just because I'm lean. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I can look in the mirror and I can say, I'm proud of myself. I am happy with my body. I'm not satisfied, but I'm happy with my body, and, you know, I don't have really like body dysmorphia, and people are like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah, I love my body. I love how I look, honestly.
As you should do. I mean, look, we're looking at it right now. And then, like, when you say, you're a coach, so you'll know better than I do, but, like, when you say it's me in the middle, 50-50, I say, like, I disagree. I think it's in your case, specifically when it comes to, well, kind of any consulting niche, but when it comes to, like, fitness, it's 90% client, 10% you, because when you hop on a call and you teach them to do this and then why this exercise is efficient over the other one, whatever, it's really just the client retaining the actual information. And you can be as inspirational and as motivational as you like, but nobody's actually going to instill the person to do the work except for the person that's retaining the information, right? So it's like, no, it's 90% you, them, it's 10% you. And like, I mean, I'm bringing this up because you can tell me, I'm sure you can tell the audience better than I could since you're actually the coach here, but setting honest expectations with your client when it comes to this is far more important, or else they're just going to go and they'll leave you reviews talking about, yo, this is a scam, and they didn't give me the results I wanted. So it's a lot of and it's like a headache that you're going to have to deal with consistently, right? So it's this isn't 50-50. This is 90 you, this is 10% me. I feel at least that's just what I assume. You let me know if I am.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Steering wrong there.
That's so true too, and results are like so different from client to client.
Yeah,
and if people like take a peek of like my testimonials and whatnot, stuff like that, like you're not gonna see like someone just get a 6-pack all the time. Like people are gonna have such vastly different progress because life. You know, we are all humans. We all fuck up, and that is so normal.
No.
And the thing,
Not him, man.
You're just
exclude him out of it.
Not me.
Yeah.
No, but like I have like a like late 40s, early like 50-year-old woman in my program. You know, not my typical client, and like she will have moments where like she's at work and she stuffs her face with food and just like, because you know how it is, you know. Especially in the country, it's just like people bringing a bunch of junk food and you're surrounded by it. You know, willpower, and she just starts eating donuts. She's like, hey, but she tells me she's like, I ate donuts. I like partied a little bit. You know, I went off the rails, and I'm like, that's okay. Let's get back on track. You know, you can't you have empathy, but you hold them accountable. That is what I've really learned with coaching, and I learned that. Just because I like to do it my way doesn't mean someone else's way isn't right. You know, I was and like a client I was working with, he's actually a really good friend of mine now. He helped me realize that just because I want results for another person doesn't mean that they want that. So I wanted this guy to like get like big and like, you know, lose weight super slow, but he was like, Lance, I don't want to do it like that. Like, I don't like the way we're losing right now. It's like, I want to lose quicker. And I was like, are you ready to do what it takes? And he's like, yeah. And he dropped like, he was like this for a while, and he's about to quit with me. And I was like, let's make this work for you. I'm sorry. You taught me a major lesson. It's about what the client wants, not so much about what I want. Absolutely. You know, and that was such a big lesson, and it transfers over to so many of my current clients now. Like I was making I'm a big high frequency trainer. I like to train 2 to 3 times per week per muscle group because it's literature shows it's just the most optimal. But one of my clients, he joins up and he goes, I hate this, and I'm like, can you trust it for like, you've been with me for a week? And he goes, I hate the app. It's not loading. He's like, I don't like this app. I don't like your workout split. You don't have to refund me. Let's just stop. And I go, I'm going to make this work for you. So I hit up the developers of the app, and I'm like, yo, like, fix this for him. And then they did. And I'm like, okay, we got it all fixed up. Boom. That's one thing out of the way. Next thing was I changed the split to 1 time per week. Was it technically optimal? No. But was the split that he couldn't adhere to optimal for him? No. So I kept him at 1 time per week, saw crazy progress, and then I go to him and I'm like, yo, like, did you want to get lean enough to where you could start to see, because he didn't get like crazy lean, but he's like, dude, I just want to look like a gorilla. And I'm like, you see, like, not everyone wants 6-pack abs. Most people just like want to look healthy, look like they work out. Like, you don't need to be like contest shredded. And quite honestly, like, for anyone trying to get super lean, it fucking sucks. Like, this shit, like, I deadass talking to you guys right now. I'm exhausted. I'm hungry. And, like, I'm thinking about when my next meal's gonna be.
Oh, don't eat us.
I'm just like... But no, it's like, it does take a while, and it's really...
Who's closest to you?
Yes. It's really hard to get contest
they're
shredded.
sharing mics over there, so
yeah, right?
That's a lot of
I'm pretty hungry too. You want to share one? But well, wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was saying, like, contest prep is a completely different beast. Like, you can get lean. I had a client actually ask me, he's like, can I maintain a 6-pack year round? I go, yeah, but you can't maintain 6% body fat year round. You know, I'm probably like around 8-9 right now, and it's like, it's hard to maintain. And getting even further is just digging deeper, and it's like you start to sacrifice a lot during contest prep, like going out. Like I want to go out with my girl. I can only do that like maybe like once or twice a month, and it has to be like carefully calculated. Like we get sushi on my refeed days. That's it. My double refeed day, we'll get sushi. But it's like I don't want to go anywhere. I don't really want to talk to many people. It like no. You guys are different. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this really bad. I was like,
yeah, damn.
But like I like hitting people up. It's like I guess I'm gonna head out then. No, but like.
Welcome.
It's just like a mentally very like exhausting thing, especially like being around family. Like
Do you feel like irritated? Like sometimes?
Very irritated, dude. I'll see people.
How come that is?
Why did you say that so Shakespearean?
Bro, how come that is? Sorry, I was trying not to laugh at that, and then you pointed it out, bro. How come that is?
So Shakespearean.
Well, how do you know the term hangry? Like when you're hungry, you just get pissed off.
Like why is it is it lower body fat, or is it just the fact that you're not eating enough calories?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. It's just like you're hungry. You're
why?
hangry.
What are we talking about? Why you can't maintain?
Why do you get
irritable?
feel irritable when they are cutting with low calories or low body fat? Why is that a thing?
Because we're out of homeostasis.
Is the hormones are all messed up?
Yeah, like I wouldn't say the hormones are necessarily messed up. It's just like you're in your mind. It's like when you're hungry, like you're getting like irritated. You're like, when's my next meal? Like, come on. Like I'll see someone. I see like this old dude in the gym. Oh my god, he gets me so angry because he's like, like he's doing like a row. Okay, he's like, he's doing his face pulls, and I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, I hate it so much. I hate and I'm like, wait a minute. But like at the same time, there's different techniques. There's like self-monitoring. Like I'm on prep. I'm hungry. I'm not actually going to kill this dude. I'm gonna walk out, and I couldn't imagine being on gear, bro, because I'm 100% natural.
Oh, dude.
I'm like I could never hop on gear, bro, because like I'm not sure if you guys watch Mike Israetel, but like Renaissance Periodization, but like he literally talks about like how he was doing judo with someone, and he was like, I was thinking. And I would just want to like rip or like it was it was judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that.
No. He does judo. That's why I said it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But he was like, judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he was like, I just want to
face.
rip this guy's.
Yeah, is this what goes on through your guys' mind when you fight?
I just want to rip his rib cage open because he was on prep and he was on gear. It's like roid rage, bro. And I was like, I would die.
Natural gorilla.
Yeah, I don't want to get angry like that, bro, because I don't want the people around me to like hate me, And I already feel like I'm such a irritable person to be around right now, and I'm just like, and I apologize. I'm like, he's really trying, and I
start fighting.
Yeah, and I apologize because I'm like, yo, listen, like this isn't how I usually am. I have people come up to me, yo, you're not as energized as you are. I'm like, I'm done. It sucks, it sucks, but I'm doing it for a good reason. You got to have a good reason why behind everything that you do, and especially fitness. Because if I ask all the guys this, and it's the guys with the deeper meaning and a reason that join up with me, and it's the guys who say, I just want to get bigger. I just want to, I don't know, I just think it's cool. I just want to have a bigger bench. They're like, I tell them what it is. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's a good fit for you. I think like you won't follow
We're just
through
supposed
with
to feel
it.
accepted. And just like, he's just talking about getting a bigger bench.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's deeper than just getting a bigger bench. Like, I want to know the reason why you started. I want to know the deeper meaning. Like, what's the importance of getting a bigger bench? What's the importance of getting a 6-pack? And then they start to go into deeper versions of like self-conscious. Like, I've had this for 10 years, this belly fat that's hanging over and affects my mental life, affects my relationship and like sex, It's like, there's so much that goes into it. That's so much deeper than just fucking getting a 6-pack.
Yeah.
I wanted to just really briefly, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's speaking.
You and me next
Hold it
time
for a
just
second.
kill ourselves.
Hold it for a second. I remember when you were saying like you just feel so great the way you look, and I do believe in this. Like once you get in shape, it's a testament of who you can become, and I think that's what makes getting in shape so powerful. Not just the physique in itself, but it's a living testimony of, dude, who I want to become is legitimately possible. Like, I feel like I can achieve anything. Because essentially, having a good physique is a very daunting task.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very grueling, long, difficult, lonely path that you have to take. And for you to complete that... it can get lonely.
If you make it
Well,
lonely.
you can have a buddy, but when you come home and you see that chocolate chip cookie
He has a point.
and that cheesecake right in front of you, that's a lonely battle in the head, bro. Yeah.
Dude, trust me, man. Like,
Then you talk to your buddy about it. It's only lonely if you make it.
Here we go.
But you know what? To his point,
There
it
we
was
go.
because when he was cutting, I was always like invoking. I would
Oh my
bring in
God.
such like sugary foods. So for you, sure it can
it
fly.
sucks, man, coming home to like sometimes I'm like I just want my own place because then I can control what's in there because out of sight, out of mind for me.
Yeah.
But when I open the pantry and I see all this good shit that my parents are getting, see like cookies and the old fashioned ice cream in the fridge or the freezer, and I'm like, dude. And sometimes I'll be honest, like I don't have to lie. Like I'll take like a little bite of it and then be done with it. Quick add like maybe 25, 50 calories into my like calorie tracker, and then
You're just like there sniffing.
I used to see
sniffing
people
my
do that.
calories. Yeah.
You see people do that where they
You know
like
what this
snip
guy
the
would do?
chocolate bar or something, and then
Yeah.
they eat like a lettuce or an apple
They eat like a
too.
rice cake or something.
Yeah.
While
Eating
I'm
disorder.
cutting, so this guy used to bring in desserts, right? And I was cutting.
He's
They
Asshole.
they go. Right
That's
into the-
mean, bro.
That is
And he
so-
goes, "It's not lonely."
That was definitely
I think he's being schizophrenic again. I think he's doing it again, bro.
And I don't know if it happened to you, but Slash can remember so many family dinners where all my mom, my grandma would say, "What are you doing? Just have this dessert."
Ooh,
Just trying to.
Dude, that's
Oh my God,
one thing I did
grandma.
though is I would never pressure you like
Well,
that.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
so I cannot respect.
But
Like
they,
if you know,
they were getting mad at me for not eating
nah,
dessert.
I wouldn't put it like
Oh,
that.
they weren't getting.
Well,
mad.
they
When I-
were
when I
they were getting
expressed
really
that-
salesy.
They were
They were
getting
getting
upset.
really salesy.
Yeah, they get so salesy. They're like,
just one
eat
dessert
this,
won't hurt.
eat this,
Yeah,
please. And I'm like, I know
That's a
you're
good
being
way to put
sweet.
it.
Yeah.
That's a
Dude,
good
they
way
almost
to-
like want to drag you down with them. It's weird. It's like a psychological
Right,
thing that they
bro.
do.
They
So
know
why are
your
you
goal.
doing
They
this
know
to
your
yourself?
like.
No, remember, you're saying, "Why are you doing this to yourself?"
Yeah, one dessert won't hurt.
Like,
And
you'll
you know
never
what?
know. You'll never know why I do it.
Josh, actually, you have to respect his mental strength because this was not a monthly occurrence. This was almost, if not daily, like weekly.
It's so
Because there was
bad.
always like something for it. And that, you know, that's gotta be tough. That's gotta be
They
tough.
do always got something out on
It's
their,
easy
on their
because
counter.
I have a deeper.
Nah, that's easy.
It's because
That's
I have
light
a
work.
deeper purpose, right, Lance?
Mhm.
I have a deeper why.
Yeah,
One
but
You're
do
shallow,
I.
Sasha.
No, I would fuck with him though. I would fuck with him, but I would never like be.
You still
anything
fuck
like
with him.
Oh, always, yeah. One thing I want to talk about though is you mentioned your client, that like 35 to 40-year-old woman, I think you said,
Yeah.
who goes out and she actually tells you like, yeah, I had donuts today, or I went out clubbing and I had more than I
Yeah.
should have eaten, or whatever. Like when I said the whole 90-10 thing, 90% of that, like that's the relationship, but for them, they need to be giving you 100%. You cannot leave anything out because if you're telling me shit that. Sorry, I'm looking at my throat. If you're telling me shit that isn't actually true, you're telling me that, oh, you had 2,000 calories today, but in reality you had like 2,500 or whatever. Like, I can't work with that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to get you the results you paid for. Like, it's not even the results you want. The results you literally paid for. Like, the coach you paid 10K for. Imagine you go to him and you, like, half-ass your fucking process through it. Like, that would just be, that's so pathetic. That's so pathetic. And we had trainers on in the past. I think Jesse even told us before that, like, some clients, yeah, they do lie. I'm sure you can tell.
they
like,
do lie. So,
but
and
it's
reporting.
like, what is the point? And my mother, who's a lawyer, has clients that come, that give, like, put their fucking legal obligations into her hands, and they still lie about certain things. So then they get fucked in court. Like, anytime it's a service-based business where like you're trusting yourself, your scenario into someone else's, like maybe me wanting to get results, I'm paying you to do it, or me going to a lawyer, having them do it. I have to give you everything because you cannot succeed if I'm not giving you the real, like, honest and results towards that. So it's so pathetic when people go out and they pay you like all this money. Like, everyone wants fucking money, right? So you're gonna go out and waste it on shit that you're gonna half-ass. It's just so pathetic. So that's a great client, and that's something like I feel like when it comes to certain things, you have to tell all of your clients, yeah, like if you're not like this, then I don't want you.
Yeah, that's the
Respectfully.
thing. That's why like my services are high value. You know, I don't want just someone to come in here and not use it. You know, I'm not just your typical give you a cookie cutter program and, you know, go off on your own coach. Like, I am someone who talks to you. I am in contact with you every day. That's the thing about online coaching too, is like compared to in person, like, one, cheaper, and 2, more accountability. Like, I know the accountability of showing up, but that's 2 times a week. With online training, I am on my app every single day checking in. They're reporting. I get to see when they actually like put data in, you know, instead of just like these like random texts or the 1 hour I get with you in person. That's why online for me is like I feel like I'm able to get so much better results, you know. They have like this central place where they put their progress pictures in and all this other stuff, and it's just like so nice, and it saves us both time because they get to work out more than 6 times a week for the same price, whether it's 3 times a week, 6 times a week. It's still the same price. I'm not meeting with you. It's not some Zoom call. And that's what people get messed up about, like, online training. It's not like that. You know, it's so much different than what people think. And
I was
like,
actually just about to ask, how does that even look like? Like, how do you train someone online? Do they send you videos?
okay,
of
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
form
So
and
I'll give you guys a little bit like in depth about the system I run online. So first off, you know, I get them on a call. They join. You know, they buy in with the call, and then we schedule our next enrollment call. And with the enrollment call, like kickoff call is like an hour long, 30 minutes to an hour long. I get them set up on three main things. It's the fitness app, a nutrition app like MyFitnessPal, which connects to the fitness app, and then they get into the community Slack group. So I use Slack, which is like Discord, just more professional. So it's basically training, nutrition, community, coaching. So that's the 3 like principles. So the training is through the app, the fitness app, and on the fitness app they have like a to-do list. Their training will be on there. They can track their workout that's given to them, and they're following a program that's custom tailored to them. So all my workouts are like template based. I make tons of different templates and then customize it to what I believe is best. That just saves time and allows you to scale. So, you know, I subscribe to the workout program. They have a week, so I can tailor it to them. And during that week, they track their calories for 5 days. I actually don't even give them a calorie goal yet because I need to see, because everyone's metabolism so different. If I got a guy eating 1,500 calories and he's not changing weight, first thing I'm doing is a reverse diet to get him back up to where his metabolism should be. And like, it's a slow process. And that's the reality of it. It's a slow process, but it works. But yeah, that's the first part. And then once the program's up, I give them the calories, I give them macros, tell them what they should be doing, and we go on from there. And if they have questions, they do send me form videos. I prefer like the first week or every block of training where they get new exercises, which is every 4 weeks. Or like intensity shifts, they send me that. There's notes in the workout to tell them exactly how. There's videos in the workout so they can see without having to like Google up an exercise. And then they send me the videos. I correct it via like a video or like, you know, just chatting to them. And then, you know, I have them send me like meal photos. I have a meal photo chat, and then weekly check-ins, which is an accountability thing, which is like a good like self-reflection thing. Like, how did I do this week? And then like I send them over a voice note of what we're going to make changes of. And not everyone needs changes week to week. I'm like, yo, we're doing good. Just keep riding the wave. And then if we hit a bump, we make an adjustment. It's as simple as that, you know? So it's very like, and I'm pretty much on the app every single day. You know, I try to take days off, but I feel like I just can't. Not right now. You know, I'm young and I have the energy for it. So why not just keep going? And, you know, when I'm not coaching, I'm making content. It's making content and coaching, because providing as much free value as you can for someone. Like, I want people to go to my page and be able to set up a calorie deficit themselves. You know, there's something, I think it was that you were talking to me about, is like teach as much value. Like, share the value for free, sell the implementation.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I think that's from Hormozy, and I think that applies for the fitness industry like the most out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Implementation is what they do personally with the strategy that you give them, right?
It's then
actions that
actually,
they take
yeah,
with
that's
the
the
strategy
action.
that you give
Exactly.
them.
It's like the accountability, you know, like
That's what I was gonna say. I
That's what
love the
say.
digital journal.
yeah,
to the
it's
aspect
so
of it. That's
nice because I
important.
think it was the accountability from my coach. Like, I knew what I needed to do. I guess I just needed a plan. Like, I'm good at
You need
implementation.
clarity, right?
Yeah, and everyone's different. Like, you know, like my situation's a little bit different because, like, you know, my niche, and you know, it's like finding people that you can sell to. You know, is a really important one. I was like, I was targeting an audience that I couldn't really sell to, and it's just like, you know, you're just tweaking those little differences, you know. It's like you, and I always like thought, it's like my dream is to help like younger guys like us get into the body, and especially like teens too, like younger teens, guys in their 20s that are in difficult situations. Like my goal is to help them, like, because I wish I had that guidance, you know. And the thing is like most of the guys our age are, you know, they're broke.
Are they broke though?
Yeah. You
To
think?
be honest, if I went to,
Yes,
I could
they are.
no, they're really not.
Dude, you know what I did find out? The average person in America is in debt by $1,000.
What was the question? I'm
The
sorry.
average American
people
is
actually
in debt.
Doesn't mean they're not still
Meaning, like
spending.
when they
though.
when they
What?
say,
Doesn't mean they're not
Of
spending.
course, of course.
Dude, people
But people are
spend so
broke.
impulsively.
If you're in debt, you're broke.
People spend.
They
so
still go out
impulsively,
and
though.
eat.
True.
Of course,
It's a
I'm not
spending
gonna-
thing. Like I feel like if you like, okay, so here's one of my favorite things to do. I ask how often someone goes out to eat, and some people are like, "Yeah, I go to Chipotle like 3 times a week." Like I go out to eat like 4 times a week. As they say that, I'm calculating just how much they're spending. People are spending upwards of $300 a month.
They don't even know it, man.
And they don't know it until that I tell them that my price is like, hey man, this is a little bit too expensive. And I'm like, isn't $300 of Chipotle just as expensive and you're destroying your body? I literally build my recipes and like cheap meal plans based on saving you money. The people who say that, oh, eating healthy is expensive, that's just cope. You're coping because it's hard to just grab chicken for like $5, eggs, frozen vegetables, and fruit. You know, you need 3 different fruit: kiwi, mixed berries, and like whatever, mango, watermelon, banana. Like you know, your optional fruit, but kiwis and berries are a staple for me.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Dude, I gotta say, learning how to cook was
Watermelon.
one of the best decisions I ever did. Was
I know.
start buying my own groceries and making my own food. I make all my meals now. I don't really. My parents do make some food sometimes. I kind of rarely eat with them nowadays.
Yeah.
And I would rarely eat out. Even if I were to, it's super just like.
Just
strict.
McDonald's casually, right?
I am
Yeah,
vice
it's
versa. Me and Sasha are whatever's on the platter, we eat, and it is working phenomenally.
So you conform at dinner time.
No, I spend quality time with my family.
To be fair, big shout out.
Tempted.
Big shout out to mom's cooking. That has gotten me far. My mom is definitely a huge help. She is cooking up. You know, I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Like, yeah, I will like prep my ingredients and stuff, but like mom's cooking, man. Nothing beats mom's
different,
cooking. That's
yeah.
how you get.
It's true.
That's how you get
That's how you
big. Trust
become
mom's
shredded.
cooking. Yeah, right.
That's
like,
the
honestly,
secret sauce.
honestly.
You're talking about the secret serum? Fuck steroids when you can have mom's cooking.
Real.
He's
So
spitting, bro. You should tell your
You
clients,
can
move
you can
back in
either
here.
get shredded or get fat. There's 2 types of
No,
people.
bro.
Yes, dude.
Nah,
Some
bro.
people
No,
get
he's
fat.
right. He's right. You
No,
can't get fat off of
definitely,
mom's
definitely.
cooking.
Like,
But that's the thing. Josh doesn't get fat.
You
bro.
can
You can.
off of mom's.
said-
no, because the thing about moms though is like depending if you're
No, grandma's cooking will make you fat. Mom's.
Well, the thing is, dude, like
That's facts.
grandma and mom, like especially if they're like,
grandma.
especially if it's like immigrant parents or foreign parents, like they do not let you leave unless that
No,
plate is
it's
clean.
done.
Right.
So it's like you can. So definitely get that. I'm like, but
can't get fat.
mama, this is way past my calorie like fucking limit. They're still gonna force feed it to you just because there's something on the plate. So that's actually like
For
facts.
them, you're always skinny, bro. For them, you're
That's
always.
so true, bro. You could be like 600
Yeah.
pounds. And
That is true.
you're like, oh, you're my little boy. Like, no,
You're still
no,
my
you're
baby.
not.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Say true.
Dude, I feel like people don't realize the importance of having a good physique and a healthy body because number one, your body carries all your dreams, desires. It carries everything with you. If you want to do things outside of lifting and being healthy as well. So people just like they walk around in these weak bodies. They don't care if they're fat. They don't care if they look weak and skinny. They don't look like people. Really, like I used to walk around like people can just throw me around, right? I used to be able to like, used to push me and like I just like would fly, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Or the shoulder checks in the high school hallways. I feel that so much.
you got shoulder checked.
No. Just like
Yeah, I
casually,
can imagine.
casually.
Yeah, I
would
getting
totally
shoulder checked.
you, bro. If I saw you in the hallway, you're getting decked. Like you're getting.
No, but tell me that's not facts though. That's also a different aspect to it.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is like also people probably the reason why they don't join your program or anything like that is like, it's not really necessarily money. It's like also like a status thing. I've learned that people really do care. It's like they're spending money to give to you, and it's like almost not really guaranteed results, right? You got to put the work in, but they're giving you money, and whenever someone spends money, it's an automatic decrease in status almost, unless you get a return on investment either instantly or down the road.
Yeah.
So that's why people are afraid to. I mean,
because you don't get your money back. Like
Exactly.
your investment goes into your body, and people need to understand the importance of investing into your body.
You know what's crazy? People probably don't spend the money too, is because they don't believe that they can get the result because they
They're
doubt
worried.
themselves.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's a big investment, man. Like when I dropped the prom, when I had the price of my business coach dropped on me, I was like, damn. You know, it's a hit, but you just got to go through with it.
When you spent that $10,000, do you not feel like spending like money is just like kind of easier now, like on the right things, of course?
I'm so like frugal now. Like I spent so much in the last like 12 weeks. It's just like,
Well,
first you got the girlfriend tax. I gotta
The tax part too.
the girlfriend
He got it right away.
the girlfriend tax, which I love. I honestly
Babe, please,
yeah, I love as a man being
These
able
are buying your
to.
girlfriends. What is going on here?
It's like yes, it does cost money, but in a loving way. Like I love you, so I'm going to spend money on you.
Dude, like, and I've talked about this, babe. It's worth every dollar, please. And like,
It
I don't
is.
spend them. Like me and my girl, we hang out like twice a week. But now that school started up and everything too. But it's just funny as fuck.
I see her every day, man. Like literally lives right down the street, so I'm like seeing her every day. But it's
jealous.
like also getting to that point where it's just like, you know, it's like you don't have to do everything all the time, and it's like having a girl who understands that, like, hey, I don't need to have you spend money on me 24/7. That is the girl, because then it gets like, are you for the money or are you here for
So true.
The physique.
The physique, yeah, it's all the physique. No, it's like it's nice because you communicate with that with them, and it's just like you want to as a guy be the provider. That is how it should be, and you know a lot of guys just like when they get a girl, they let their dreams and ambitions go right out the window, and I've seen it happen so many times. I had a dude almost join up with me, and he ghosted me, and I'm like, dude, where'd you go? And then I see him post with a new girlfriend, and I'm like,
Was it a client or a friend?
like a lead, like yeah, he was a friend.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm just like,
Prospect.
dude. I was like, he came up to me for a breakup in the first place, and I was like, okay, let's get you.
Number one.
Yeah.
That's
He
like,
came to
I
me.
gotta take
He was like,
time,
I'm
bro.
broken up and I'm ready to go, and I was like, okay, bet. And then he got another girlfriend. I'm like, okay, well, you know, like I got my girl.
He's gonna be a client. Just give it.
Yeah, give him.
Bro's hoping for the heartbreak,
I'm
right?
not hoping for the heartbreak.
Heartbreak
It's a secret
motivation.
formula.
Yo, stay in
It
his
is
DMs.
It
Nah,
is a
Josh is
secret
spitting.
formula. You cannot. I do not believe you can get out of a relationship and get into another relationship
Right away.
within
That's so
a month or
real.
two. You have to understand. People forget. Like I said, you don't miss the person. You miss what
The
they
The
did
feeling,
for
yeah.
you.
Me and Sasha have the same exact vibe.
Exactly,
We talk about
and
this all
it's
the time.
essentially that feeling is, that amazing feeling is gone, and he's gonna try to replicate it. But the thing is, you try to replicate it, but you never build up the foundation in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to build the external force when you haven't fixed the internal force. And
Exactly,
therefore,
bro.
It's a broken
Oh
barrier.
my
You
God,
have a
that's-
broken-
Yeah.
It's the fall of
That
the
is
Roman
so
Empire.
So smart. Let's
He's,
go.
he's spitting right now though. Like,
Right.
No,
make
he-
sure you keep that guy in your clients, and
Oh,
when he
yeah.
asks you how much it costs, charge him double. He'll pay.
Yeah.
It. Like I'm
Nah,
telling
man.
you, bro.
Fuck that. Nah, bro. But you have
I'm fucking-
you have such a good
I'm
point, bro. Because when I went through the breakup, I was looking, and I just kept trying to fill that that void, and the moment like I found like my current girl, which is like she's the one, bro. Like I started focusing on myself. That's when that shit started like. That's how we got together, is when I started focusing on those other things and improving myself, that they are drawn to that. And then that's when it finally all like aligns. So when you're not looking is when it happens. When you're looking is when like you shouldn't be. You know, you should never be like looking. You should like focus on yourself and it gravitates towards you. It's the, law of like gravitation or something. I forget what it's called.
Law of attraction?
Yeah, law of attraction, bro. You know, you believe things, you do good things for yourself, and like other things like are attracted to you. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Just be careful who you're talking to, because Josh doesn't like when you talk about relationships around him. It's just it's a
Bad-
thing. One of those.
bad-
Jealousy,
That's
jealousy,
good.
right?
No wife, even better life.
No way.
Broke
You
me.
must have-
Doesn't
did you go
know.
through- when was your last girlfriend? Did we talk about that? When was your last
That's
girlfriend?
actually about to hit a year.
No, it's just funny
Gotta-
because like Josh
gotta
sees
be
me and my
a
girl
year.
kiss, and he's like, "Guys, stop that."
What did she do to you, bro?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's just funny because he's like, you can't be in a relationship showing affection in front of other people that are single. It's like, bro. It's the funniest thing ever, though.
He's just feminine.
It's just feminine.
This is what it comes down to.
No, honestly, it's so funny. You know, one thing I wanted to talk about earlier too is we were talking about, you mentioned COVID and like the whole thing with the government, and like I don't know if I could say that it was like one of the worst things that the government did by shutting down the gyms. I mean, a lot of people try to undermine what COVID really was and like the protocols behind it, but what I want to focus on here is the two groups that came out of it that you mentioned.
You
right?
believe it
And
was
it's like, what?
COVID?
Was it real?
No, that's as far.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people.
I mean, it's a yes or no question, and you don't have to get.
No, yeah, I definitely do. And a lot of people like the two groups that you were talking about, right? Like people take advantage of certain opportunities like that. And Josh is actually a prime statement like this. He mentions all the time, like during quarantine, he leveled up. He became a player, not a drifter. And there's other people that, of course,
I ate the Mario mushroom.
yeah, that thing too. Yeah, and then there's other people that
Bro, I got worse.
And then there's
COVID,
people like Mike. Exactly.
I got-
so what do we think like? And how do you like when you see, you probably may see it through clients, like what distinguishes those two different groups of people? Or what distinguishes someone from being part of Mike's group or being from part of Josh's?
I'm not in that group anymore.
Used to be.
Are we talking about like COVID, like in
Yeah,
specific,
you,
or like the group of like they?
Because you mentioned your story too. During COVID was when you really started to work out and
Yeah.
found a way to push through. Even though you said the 6 months before COVID, you didn't really see much results, but you still wanted to keep going. But then there's this group where during COVID they use that opportunity kind of thing to just sit home and do nothing pretty much.
Yeah, you said you recognize the two groups, and essentially there's a group Josh who leveled up during COVID, and then there's a group Mike who became a drifter during COVID, right? Like, how do you like?
I claim that title.
Good, embrace it. What do you think is the difference between those two different types of people?
Well, I feel like the difference is like, that's like a really good question. The difference between the people who made a change during COVID and the people who didn't. Are we talking like the difference of them now or the difference of them back during COVID?
Like the mindset. Are you talking
maybe
about the
now,
mindset?
yeah. Like the mindset behind it.
I guess it's the mindset of like the group that chases after it, since we were essentially like taking away the gyms, you know? So like the two different people, I think the biggest switch is like the ones that are willing to like go after it even if they're in a situation that doesn't, that doesn't like provide them with a means to go into the gym. Like can you go after it and make a difference even though the odds are stacked against you? Like those are the difference between the people is like the ones that are like proactively going for it, that like really want it, and then the other ones that are like, oh well, I mean, if it's not there, then I'm not gonna really try to keep up with it. I'm just gonna sit back and kind of let it go. It's just like the biggest mindset shift I guess is proactive versus reactive. Are you reactive or are you proactive?
I remember during COVID, like one of my biggest pains was number one, just like being obsessed with a girl, but the other one was being insecure about. But
He's saying that like he's never been obsessed over a girl.
No, I'm saying it's always the woman.
yeah, it is. But
better
so,
like
the thing is,
gotta come out as gay on
the thing is, during that time,
Sasha, I think that honestly it's better to just ask those two because he did bad at COVID and then he did good.
That's true,
So
that's
No,
he
true.
can't really answer that.
Can I talk?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Damn.
So what I was gonna say is right. I had in my basement. I had a bench. I had 25-pound dumbbells, and that's all I had, and that's all I used during that time. But I mean, it's not a whole gym, or it's like not
Hey,
even,
it's more
Oh,
than
you
a
were
but
still
it's
working
better
out
than
then. So why were you a drifter?
Yeah, like why did you go down?
because I would
Why didn't you win like
I'll
Josh?
do one set between my Fortnite games.
Okay. Josh.
Actually,
do
Josh, back to
two
you.
sets
crazy.
between my games.
Now, Josh, back
no,
to
you know what though? If you're a gamer
Why did you-
right
why
now,
did
if
you
you're
succeed?
like a gamer, honestly, a good way to like get them to slowly hop off that is like, yeah,
But I was
every
losing
game
weight.
you lose. Oh,
I was just like, I wasn't eating enough calories. I
well,
was
no
working
shit.
out,
Yeah. Well, you're a
Yeah, I
fucking
wasn't
gamer. You're a
sleeping.
loser. Yeah.
and I was really sad. But the gym,
But Josh was a gamer
Or
during
feminine.
COVID too.
yeah.
Or he was
I
like,
don't
you
know,
didn't
man.
want it
I don't know about
bad
that.
enough.
Yeah, that's what. Like,
I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think it's just about what's the most pain in your life, and then you. Chase
Okay,
after that.
why did you, like, why did COVID not bring you down, basically?
I'm competitive.
It's simple.
No, it really is.
For me,
it was,
bro.
Yeah.
Come
It's
on.
not simple. No, I'm just a very competitive male, and I cannot sit on my ass and do nothing, knowing that
When
there
you
are
see-
other
yeah, okay.
individuals.
But you
Yeah.
were sitting on your ass
simply cannot
before
live with
COVID. So what was the
What?
difference?
No,
You were sitting
I
on.
wasn't sitting on my ass before COVID.
Josh,
drop the
Like,
picture.
Yeah.
Drop the
Like,
Took the
picture.
words out of my
picture
mouth.
we referring
Daniel,
to?
please pull up the
Which
picture.
picture are we talking? First off, which picture are we talking about here?
Don't. Alright.
Which
Yeah, I need
picture?
to see this
I
picture.
can't. I'll put.
No.
as-
Which picture are we referring to right now?
Yeah, the one where you look like a fat ogre.
Yeah, that's literally in my bulk phase. That was way
how we
back.
know
But at the time,
you know that was.
Why
Are we
you
calling
that
it
was-
bulk phase,
you
or
know
is
that
it
was-
just get fat and?
You know that
and-
was only a year and a half ago. February
I don't-
2023
Wait, are
was
you?
my
What
fat
what
bulk
photo are
phase.
you talking about?
Are you talking about me
earlier.
203?
No. I'm talking like
Oh.
2020, before COVID. COVID hit 2020, right?
That was
Or
4 years ago.
2019.
That was 4
Yeah,
years ago.
2019.
I
I'm
was
talking
already-
what happened
I was
before then.
already
You
a
were,
junior. I was a little
sophomores.
chunky monkey when I was in
in like
freshman
in
year.
middle school and shit
Freshman
like that.
year,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm saying.
That's
and
2018.
you
I
were.
wouldn't say you're a chunky monkey.
I was a
He was a chunky monkey.
You weren't really like
I was-
fat though. Other people were fat, but you weren't fat.
He was. He's got some weight on
I
him.
was a chunky monkey.
Chubby
Dude,
all
Daniel,
around,
Daniel's the
right?
same
Like,
way.
I'd
Like
say
when he was
maybe
little,
chubby,
he was
but
he was
not
over.
fat.
Like he had weight, and he'd always call himself fat, but he was not fat. Like he was the same way as you. He did not have abs. He didn't have muscle, but he wasn't like fat. Right? Like he could run. He was athletic. He wasn't
Skinny
fat.
fat?
No,
Like, is
it
does one of
was
those
just like
skinny
the
fat?
problem with. Like, it's not a problem, but like it was the same way. You're calling yourself fat, but you
call me
weren't
fat.
fat. You were not. Dude, that's what I'm saying. You were not
Call me
fat.
right now. You just call me fat.
No.
No, that's.
Oh,
very
do you want to be called fat? Okay, sure. You are fat. Do you like it now? You are
George is
fat.
learning how to talk to Josh. I love it.
Guys, I've been abused verbally. Let's clip that right there.
Bro wants to be called that, bro. That's his motivation.
fat.
Call me fat.
No, so Lance, I want to ask you, when you get a client, what's the one thing that they're not aware of when it comes to training? Is it nutrition? Is it the training? Is it the form? Is it like what are they not really aware of?
Ooh, technique.
Yeah.
Technique 100%, bro. Like, I'll have people think they know exactly what they're doing in the gym. Like, everyone knows, like, oh, nutrition's the biggest struggle. So I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to go, like, and say, like, technique, man. Because I'm training people who are looking for pure aesthetics. Like, just bodybuilding training
Yeah.
and perhaps
Hypertrophy,
getting on the
right?
stage. Yeah, pure hypertrophy. I can do all, but, you know, I'm honing in on just, like, the fat loss, muscle building, getting big. Getting jacked and having just like a nice overall aesthetic physique, V-taper, all that good stuff. And people will be like, yeah, I got to exercise. I know how to exercise, but my nutrition just needs help. Everyone's nutrition needs help. Let's be real here. But I'm like, send me exercise form videos. 90%, I swear, are just like not training like a bodybuilder. Like you need to, bodybuilding training is like, you need to find high tension movements. You need to train.
Compounds,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I wouldn't even say like I completely avoid barbells in most of my programs
Why?
because it's not stable. You want to be in a very stable environment, and it's okay for like a good amount of training, to be in a non-stable. Because when you're using a barbell versus a machine, barbell you're gonna have tiny muscles working, and those tiny muscles aren't necessarily important for being on stage.
so
You
true.
want to be in a nice stable environment.
Well, stage for what though?
No. He's
Stage-
specifically talking about
bodybuilding.
bodybuilding. He doesn't
Yeah.
say barbell itself isn't good. It's what he's training for. Barbell isn't the.
Okay,
the,
yeah.
the
It's not the most
Well,
optimal.
what are you competing aesthetically? You want those tiny muscles, but competing like
Well,
for how
as-
heavy you can lift.
Stabilizing muscles, you're not gonna really need those really like small muscles. You need to fucking move as much weight as you can in a stable environment where you're isolating the best that you can. And when machines are in a fixed like position like that, all you got to worry about is your like your main mover, your agonist muscle, which is like say you're doing a barbell like incline chest press where like you're trying to stabilize the bar from moving in multiple planes, opposed to a incline Smith Where a Smith is already put in that plane of motion to where all your body needs to focus on is like your chest, triceps, and shoulders moving that heavy load.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I'm
1000%.
saying?
I mean, I started using the machine for my chest days instead of using dumbbells. I went from bench to dumbbells, and now I use the machines to dual nose. I do like a superset and everything, and yeah, like my chest has never felt so sore after. But I thought if we're talking about like competing aesthetically, like whatever Dave Later, I don't know who they are.
David Lee.
Does it? Yeah. Don't you want every single like those small muscles count for in terms of the? But are you talking like what are you specifically competing for? How much weight you can
Bodybuilding,
push?
like a bodybuilding show.
Like one where you like flex and you like they rate your physique, or one where you see how much.
Oh, so
I'm
there's
thinking of powerlifting.
Oh, there's powerlifting. That
Gotcha.
powerlifting is powerlifting's all like free weights and the big three. But aesthetically, like
And that's
like
what you're
when
doing.
I switched my training, I'm training
This
for.
is don't
what
you
you
want
meant.
those tiny muscles?
Well, define like tiny muscles because stabilizer muscles are absolutely like ones that you will not like see on
So
stage.
they're not the most visible.
Yeah, like when I'm doing like tricep like push downs and stuff, like if you're talking tiny muscles and as in like the tricep, like that could be done like like any like when it comes to like tricep training, it's more so like choosing like high tension movements is another big one.
Yeah, I hope
like
nobody's benching for
when you
tricep.
can provide as much tension because mechanical tension is the main driver of muscle growth.
Yeah, that's
There's
why I use
nothing
the
else
cables
to it,
most
you
of the
know.
time.
And where you can get most of the mechanical tension in a stretched position, that's where it's going to matter most. Say like a overhead extension where your long head, which is like attached like over here, it's biarticular. Like you're when your shoulders lifting up like this, you're getting the most stretch in your long head, and then doing overhead extensions where the cable height is longer and there's more tension on that long head of the tricep, because in a stretched position that's where like most of the hypertrophy like will actually like occur. Like that is why you want to aim for stretch position length, and partials is a big thing, but the stretch position is very important for distal muscle development as well. And distal muscle development is like the outside of like a muscle. So like there's actually been studies like shown where if you're just doing like the contracted part of a motion, your distal part of the muscle is actually missing out on a ton of gain. So full ROM or length and partial ROM, and I recommend length and partials like that. At the end of the set for failure, you do a few more length and partials, and then like tempo is a big thing, and people like not control that eccentric, and again it comes down to the lengthening
So
of the muscle
important,
being extremely important. Like I will do like 2 seconds up, 2 seconds. You want to get
And
into
then you
that
can
nice
alternate it
rhythm.
too.
Yeah, and
Sometimes
people
you
will
do-
just be like, I'm like, dude, when you're like, especially a more advanced lifter, you have to take into account the tempo, the isolation,
1000%.
everything like that.
Yeah, I
it
used
matters.
to do the thing where like I would do those fucking curls, whatever, right?
Preacher
And then
curls?
preachers, that's what they're called, right? And I would do what you did, 1, 2, or 1, 2 up, and then the other like I trained it twice a week. 1, 2 down, 1, 2 down. Like so, it's great to it's eccentric, and then there's
Concentric.
Concentric. Yeah, that's great. And ROM being range of motion for beginners. That
Oh,
might
yeah,
be so
ROM, full
familiar.
ROM.
That's really important too.
Yeah.
So many like little things that go into lifting that people don't have to
And
really appreciate.
and to give you like another idea about like the barbell versus like machines, there's something called stimulus to fatigue ratio, which is like a term coined by Dr. Mike Isertel, and that's basically like how much stimulus can you give your target muscle before you really get fatigued, and it starts to provide like a recovery, like a bad recovery like scenario where like you're breaking down your joints and it's just not good. So take a squat versus a leg press, for example. You have the squat, which is a very good movement for building the quads, but how much can you do before your lower back gives out? Before your core gets tired, before other muscles, like your upper back too, before other muscles start to get in the way. Like the stabilizer muscles, like deep core muscles that you can't see, that you won't ever see on stage, that are like literally attached to your spine, that are stabilizing you, say, during a barbell back squat. Granted, again, heavy barbell back squats, great exercise for building quads. But if I'm trying to do more and really get the most out of just my quads, I'm going to do a angled seated leg press where I could really load up some heavy weight, but I don't have to worry about my core or anything because I am on a supported back
Or
pad.
hex squats even.
Hack squats, yeah, anything like that. Pendulum squat, hack squat, and angled leg press. Like those are my big quad movers.
Yeah, that's great.
You know?
I'm guessing abs would be probably the lowest to this whole fatigue. What was the term?
A stimulus to fatigue.
Stimulus
ratio.
to fatigue. I'm guessing abs are probably the lowest on that because they recover the fastest.
I mean, when it comes to muscles that recover the fastest, it's gonna be the smaller muscles. So biceps, delts, triceps, abs. Really, I train abs 2 to 3 times per week.
Fuck, I do it every day. I heard.
Yeah, you want to change the way you're training your abs because you don't want to just train them every single day. People mistaken ab training and then they'll do abs every single day and wonder where the fuck their abs are. No, do it 2 times a week. Their abs are no different from any other muscle. And people who say either, oh, it's just diet, when you're lean enough they'll show. That's stupid. That kind of applies to every muscle. You want it to pop.
That's true.
Obviously when you're lean enough it'll show.
But what if you just do, say, 5-10 minutes every day?
Well,
Yeah,
then you're not getting the most out of it. Are you training high reps on your abs and not taking it close to failure like most people are doing? Abs should be taken close to failure and trained at a 2 to 3 times per week frequency, just like every other muscle group. Because it's if you're just spamming every day, you're not getting it time to recover. And especially if you're not taking your ab training really close to failure. Let me just tell you guys, the only 2 exercises you need for abs is weighted crunches, cable crunches, lying on the ground and taking that shit 10 to 12 reps. Fucking failure. Train them hard, and then hanging leg raises. Again, 10 to 20 reps, failure. If it gets too hard, add a 5-pound weight as you're doing the leg raises. Boom. It'll be hellishly hard. Those are the only 2 you need. Implement it on your leg days.
What about the obliques?
Obliques. Well, I personally don't really train obliques in my sport because having a blocky, because it's muscle hypertrophy. Your waist is usually going to get bigger if you're training your obliques. So I usually let obliques come down to I don't train my obliques at all because I have a naturally tighter waist. I don't want to necessarily have my obliques get bigger or anything like that. So I let it come down to diet. I don't do sometimes I'll do side bends and stuff just for back health and all that kind of stuff. But obliques will come out again as you get leaner.
Yeah, I guess because what you were talking about earlier with clients, we all have genetically different bodies.
Everyone's
and you go by your bone structure, not whatever someone else is telling you. I guess that makes sense. I just thought I've heard of that a lot too, and honestly I've never actually done the research myself behind it, so shame on me. But the whole idea that abs you can train 5 minutes a day, and you're right, I do not train them not to failure essentially. It's not I'm there doing it for shits and giggles, but I'm still working on them pretty hard too and everything. I thought that's I don't know what is the downside to that though, because they just won't recover as quick, and it's
just junk volume.
Yeah.
There's no real downside. There's just no
It's almost
upside.
fluff.
Really?
Yeah, it's just there's no real downside. There's no real upside. You're just kind of training them. What are you doing for ab exercises right now? 5 to 10 minutes every single day.
So I do what you mentioned, hanging leg curls. I start with that, and then I do
Leg raises?
leg raises. Sorry, yeah, leg curls. I start with that, and I push it to 15, closer to failure. Then I go and there's this machine at AFC. It's kind of like crunches pretty much. And then I go back and I do those leg raises again, and then I finish it off with the Russian twist to target the oblique. And then it's literally just that superset, probably no longer than 2 or 3 minute workout essentially, because I do it back to back pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in that. I'd say if you did 4 sets of hanging leg raises, but then added a weight, say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, probably see your lower abs pop a little bit more.
I'll try it out. Yeah, this is the
go.
beautiful thing about lifting though. You can always learn more, and then even I think on Tuesday it was when I was at the gym late. I saw Sadula. I was doing traps, and he came up to me. He fixed my form for me as well too. You can't be ignorant to learning more about the technique, even if you think you can.
My coach bashes my technique. He used to bash my technique because I thought I had it down, and I was I don't need to send you technique. I'm I've been training for 3.5 years, and then he was dude, you got to work on this, and I was
Yeah.
damn.
So true. So I'll definitely try out what you.
Yeah,
told me.
bro.
Thank you.
I have just one puzzling question that I've been trying to figure out. Is it true? How much do you know, like, science behind every single lift? Do you know the hip abductor machine?
Hip abductor?
Yeah.
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 What about
So-
it? The good girl, bad girls?
I guess you can call that. I never heard that one. But when you're going inwards, right? Is it true that can genuinely grow your penis because you're
I
Please
knew
cut the
it was
cameras.
coming. I knew.
you're bringing blood, right? So you have muscles here, and essentially
Your
when you
groin.
are working out, blood is going to the muscle,
The
correct?
groin, yeah.
What? To the groin.
Your penis isn't a fucking muscle.
Yes, it is actually.
Your penis a
not.
muscle?
Yes, it is.
No,
I thought it was like a
searched this up.
sponge.
Wait, you
thought
haven't
we
been working
did,
your,
yeah.
your
We searched it up and it was not a muscle.
No,
I
one
thought
said it
we
was,
did,
yeah.
and then it,
Penis
because
is
how
a
can it
muscle,
get-
bro.
I don't recall a penis.
Exactly. That was the
Is
that was
the
the real
penis a
question. but it's
muscle?
blood
It's not
flow
about the
that
muscles, it's
makes
about
it
the blood
hard.
flow.
Yeah.
You're talking about the
My question is,
kegel.
dude,
Then
if
pull
you're
it up.
doing, Josh,
I'm
the
pretty
whole
sure
journey-
I did study anatomy. I know there's muscles around the penis, but
Yeah. So there's,
But Josh has a good memory,
There's
so maybe
muscles,
he
like,
remembers
right
it
where-
better.
No, it says you're right.
like, you know how you can, like, almost, like, not to get graphic,
But there's
you
a lot
can
of
almost-
muscles next to the penis.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not gonna grow
Right.
the thing.
That's what you said.
Penis
the whole,
development
that's why
is-
I was always confused. Because if you make your legs bigger, that
gonna
would
make your penis look smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't. That's why you shouldn't hit legs.
The
Don't hit
bigger
legs.
your
It'll make your
legs
penis
are-
smaller.
That's a very bad advice.
I don't want a smaller looking penis. That's
But
why
then
taking
you're not getting big
steroids
legs.
is good. Taking steroids is good because it makes
Your
your
girlfriend
balls
doesn't
shrink
know
and makes
this?
your look penis bigger. All right.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not, bro. You have
Steroids
not
don't
seen the
affect penis
bodybuilders?
size. Steroids make the ball smaller.
I
because
heard,
it
yeah,
cuts
I know.
off-
Yeah,
Make the
exactly,
balls
exactly.
smaller.
But have you seen him on stage?
Oh well, have you seen how tight them
They're
fuckers
lean,
are?
though. Like, they have no tests in themselves because they're
Yeah,
just, like,
true.
super leaned out.
Like
Yeah,
you
but
lose
that-
your
that-
sex
that's what
drive
I'm
like
trying to
4
say.
weeks
I'm
out.
not- that's what I'm saying. Their penis is small, dude. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's not only because their testosterone is low, dude.
The
Their
body fat's
penis
low.
is small because of fucking
Then
steroids.
their balls are small.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
but they're- so is
It
their- so is
messes
their dick.
with their hormone. The
Exactly. So is their
the
dick.
steroids.
Okay.
I thought it
That's
only
what
makes your
they're
balls smaller.
Yeah, I think it only makes your balls
It does
smaller.
make your balls smaller.
That is my worst nightmare.
Having
But-
small balls.
Yeah, that is up there with having a wife, honestly. Those are nightmares.
Or having a wife.
Yeah.
Bro can't
Having
commit to
a
anything.
wife and small balls.
I'm gonna have to also disagree with abs, like doing them every day, because athletes do abs every single day. Soccer players, wrestlers, judo.
not training for hypertrophy though. I didn't say.
Like, what do you mean?
For ab
For
growth?
conditioning, mostly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
athletes
for
can
endurance
train
and
differently.
conditioning, yeah, athletes are fine, but I'm talking bodybuilding. I'm not coaching athletes. I'm coaching well, I guess you could say bodybuilder is an athlete. If you want like growth, I'm talking about growth. Like athletes,
Okay.
yeah, like train your core
Okay.
every day, but it's not gonna make them look bigger. If that makes sense, you know, like it's not gonna make your abs look huge.
Like
and
pop out? You mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were meaning in general. Like it's
No,
not.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Guess question?
And also,
Yeah.
the bodybuilders don't really need to do a lot of weight, either, like heavy weights. That's what I mean. Like they can just do
I think
50
that's
pounds
a
just-
common myth.
really,
That is a common
because that's
myth.
what I heard, that they don't really need to do heavy, like lifts and stuff.
You
Because
can
all
train-
they need to do is pop out the muscle and stuff.
so a pump doesn't equate to muscle growth. That's one thing, and then the next thing is you can
What?
see. You can see. You can see progress in the gym from a 5 to 30 rep range as long as you're taking that close to failure. Now this comes back to stimulus to fatigue ratio, because if you're doing 5 to 6 reps, 5 to 7 reps in all your sets, that'll come with a lot of like fatigue and just like joints that is just gonna suck. Like moving that much heavy weight all the time. That's why the sweet spot's like an 8 to 12 range. You want some exercises and sets in a 5 to 7 rep range. You want some sets in a 15 to 20 rep range. I play around with both in the way that I schedule my programs, you know?
Makes sense.
It's nice to understand like how it feels training heavy and how it feels training lighter, but you still gotta put that intensity in. As long as you're putting intensity in, it doesn't matter too much your rep ranges. As long as you're under if you're like 1 to 5 reps, that's more strength. I don't work with my clients enough 1 to 5 reps unless they're trying to get like a bigger bench or something like that.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Alright.
Lance, we have 3 questions for every guest,
Okay,
and
cool.
then we're gonna ask you a question from our previous guest, and you get to ask a question for our next guest. All right.
Okay. I
First
like
question: what is your best advice to somebody in life?
that. My best advice is something that I recently got told, and it's never stop learning. Like, always be hungry to learn. You know, I just got another certification. I'm going to continue with my business coach. Never just settle with the way things are. Like, you should always strive to learn and be open-minded.
Yeah.
Always be open-minded.
You're hungry right now, aren't you?
I'm so hungry. I'm ready.
No, it's hungry.
I'm so hungry right now.
You want to go? I'm also hungry. Are you sure you want to go?
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Because I'm also hungry, so.
You're also hungry?
He gets
Once the cameras get cut.
Is Nebraska open? Nebraska would be tough.
There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat in this.
Have you ever been to Nebraska?
Nebraska?
Yeah.
Is that one of the questions that you always ask?
No.
Okay. No, I haven't.
Dude,
We should go out there.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I definitely want to hang out with you guys.
Dude, all they
again.
have is
you
meat?
guys are good. You guys are like good people.
Yeah, all me, bro. What is that keeps you going in life? What's your drive?
It's a good one, I guess.
Bodybuilding.
My brother, my girlfriend, and I guess like the will to like be financially free. Like, I wanna be able to do what I was never able to do when I was younger and I was traveling. Like, I want to be able to work from anywhere in the world, and that's why like online is so important to me. And just like the people that I'm going to change lives for, like, they keep me going. You know, I just want to prove to people that you can be in shape and still like live a fun like lifestyle. You know,
It's so strong for him. It's not even a desire. It's just the will at this point.
it's a need.
That's how you know.
Passion, yeah. What is number one problem that you see people face in today's society, and how can we overcome that?
Laziness. Period. That's as simple as that. Laziness. People are always looking for the convenient and easy way out. We have weight loss drugs now. We have like Ozempic and stuff, and it's just it's discouraging. It's okay. Yeah. It's discouraging hard work, essentially. Like I see like different people talk about it. It can be helpful, yes, but to me, discredits hard work. I think like putting drugs in our body.
Man. They just like
And how can we overcome it? Overcome it by purposely seeking out things that make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
people need more ambition too.
Yeah.
People are not they're not hungry for things, right? They don't know what they want in life.
Right, because everything's at their fingertips, bro. Everything's just there.
Yeah, purposely seek things that make you uncomfortable. Me, dropping out of college.
Yeah.
That made me so uncomfortable. What did
Me
that
too,
do?
bro. Yeah,
Give me a full-time income and a
that's
job
what-
that I love.
And that's what drives you not wanting to go back to that position ever again, because you know.
Dude,
that
it's not
doesn't feel
college, it's
right
the
to you.
streets. It's back to the streets. It's not back to college. It's back to me going on the
It's like no one's
streets.
coming to save you at that point. You have to make a way.
Oh, no one's coming to save you. It's such a real thing, man. You can't rely on anyone else.
Boom.
You
back
have
in
to
the
rely
game,
on
bro.
yourself. Yeah.
I've been.
But yeah, that's my answer to that.
Love it.
Great.
So the question from our previous guest, which is shout out to Jesse.
Ooh.
No.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh,
David.
Oh, Jesse.
Long episode.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Jesse.
I saw the question and it seemed like such a Jesse question. My fault. I'm gonna say this elegantly. What is the importance of love?
I actually
That's a
love
deep
that,
one.
bro. That is such a good one. Honestly, man, like I know you don't like me talking about partners and stuff on this, but I'm gonna talk about her for a little bit.
Yeah, look him right in the fucking
Josh
eyes.
just walks out.
Can I walk out?
Make him uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm gonna get so in depth. Nah, man, importance of love, like, damn, man, it's I feel like this is one of the most important things, and it's like familial love and just like friend love too. It's something that keeps you just going, because people are like to make the lone wolf and like, oh, you have to do this by yourself. Such a big thing, but it does not need to be like that. It's just like you should be seeking out like love. Like, you should feel love. You should
Give
like
love.
give and embrace it, man. Like, I have never, especially with my like the current partner I'm with, man, I haven't felt love like that in my entirety of living, you know. And
That's
even with
amazing,
like
bro.
previous like partners and everything like that, it's just like there's a certain connection that you get with people that you truly love, that you know, you don't even have to think about it, and it's just like you just know that it's love. You
It
do
just
certain
is, yeah.
things for them that you just know it's love, and having like, it's not just giving love, man, it's the feeling of finally having it given back to you when it's like, you know that it's love. Like, you know people are doing it out of love. And it can be friends, but, you know, it's especially in like a romantic relationship way where it's just like, you know they're doing that out of love. And it's like a feeling that you've never felt before. And like, it keeps me going. Like, that's another thing, man. It's like when I look like in her eyes, bro, like that's more of a reason to keep going. That's more because it's not just about you at that point, bro. It's about the family that you're gonna be providing for. It's about the kids that you're gonna have.
Most
you
relatable
know?
thing you ever said.
And that's all I gotta say about that. That's the importance of love, at least in my life, is that like I've always wanted like a strictly like monogamous relationship, bro. I wanted just like the one. I don't date to have sex. I date to marry and marriage, have a wife, and a beautiful family. So that's the importance of love, man. It drives me as a man. It's just like I think it's like a very masculine thing to do is provide for a family and provide for a woman.
Yeah, anyone that's not dating to marry, why the fuck are you dating?
Exactly.
Just hook up at that point.
Not you.
Love is not just a
Hookups are horrible, bro. Hookups are horrible. Porn's horrible. Quit porn. I quit porn and it felt like the greatest like relieving feeling.
Dude, it's such a weight off your shoulder type of thing, bro. You have to ask the next guest the only catches. You don't know who they are or what they do, so just whatever comes to mind that interests you.
Challenge them.
What's your biggest worry for the upcoming generation?
Oh,
Gen Alpha, right?
Gen Alpha,
Yeah.
Gen Alpha,
What's your biggest worry for Gen Alpha?
Do you have an answer for that yourself? Did you ever think about that?
I actually don't know. I'll have the other dude answer that. Yep.
They're not gonna have Josh in the generation. That's their biggest worry.
That's a big problem.
All right.
in today's society,
Alright,
so
we like the guest.
They need kings.
Yeah. Lance, you know Lance. It's a very noble name. I genuinely do.
Thank you. I love that.
Do you know
Appreciate
Lance
it.
the Knight? I just remember like when I think of Lance, I think I was in school. Do you remember Lance the Knight?
Little
He's a
Josh
very
reading
very
Lance
noble
the
man.
Knight.
He was one of the best knights in his time, in his era, and there was like a whole book about it, and I thought it was awesome. Anyways,
Fictional?
no, it's not fictional.
Well, the fact
Lance,
that you
we
know
like
that, that's...
Yeah, I don't know. It stuck with me.
We like
Maybe I was a knight in my previous.
Maybe it was his great...
You're
reincarnated
into a knight, bro. Yeah.
We like for the guests to read the quote of the day, so by all means.
All right. The only limit in your life are the ones that you make.
This time we have
It should say limits. The only
Dude,
limits.
honestly,
are
that
your
mindset, that mindset itself is just so powerful because
It is.
people set so many limits on them. It's like I catch myself sometimes even
Dude,
limiting
literally.
myself by accident.
Name of my business is Broken Limits, bro. Like that is literally like. I actually love that was the quote that was chosen. Because
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is my whole thing. Is man like.
I
people
thought
say-
my
Make that your
limit
mission
was
statement.
just.
That is my mission.
I never thought I could get abs. Not once in my life when I was young, and the only limit in your life are the ones you make.
Exactly.
Awesome.
I love it.
You choose your box that you want to go in.
I said, fuck that limit. I'll make my own limit. Fuck the speed limit. Go 20 over. Fuck the cops. Let's go.
Yeah.
And for
Not
the
that part.
and for
I
the
love the
shout
cops.
out.
I don't hate the cops. Just want to make that clear.
Holy God, can
He
you
hates
ever
it.
shut the fuck up? And the shout out is I think addiction has always been something that existed since the beginning. Just the addictions people had and have keep changing. This is by Dan K 2112. Thank you,
Hey,
Dan
you're
K.
back, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the return of Dan K.
That's
I love it.
exactly what Cole said, like, with problems 20, 30 years ago versus the problems that we have now. Now we just have low attention spans, low ambition. People just
Weak
have
people.
instant
Too comfort,
gratification.
yeah. So
We have different
We got
problems.
furries.
That's funny.
Furries and stuff.
We got furries, we got people.
Furries is crazy. bro.
LGBTQ.
Watch our last episode before this one about furries.
Crazy.
Did you have a furry on? You have a furry on that?
No, but it got brought up by
Yo,
someone
imagine
brought
we have-
furries, and
you
we started
did.
talking
It was
about
you.
it. Exactly. I did, and I'm glad we did.
All right.
Yeah, people need to know that.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's about everything, Lance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
guys so
really
much
good
for having me.
episode.
Do you wanna shout out your socials and everything?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm on Instagram.
Beep. I know you did that one on the episode too.
I'm on Instagram at Lance Parker. Parker is ParkeErr. The other Lance Parker was taken. Or Lance Parker, men's physique coach. That's where I post every day. And then I'm also on TikTok at the same handle, Lance Parker. And then I'm also starting up a YouTube. Also going to just be called Lance Parker. But yeah.
And check him out, guys. If you want to train, this is the guy for you.
Awesome.
All right. Well, with that, we say think big, grow big.
Grow big.
Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Think big, grow big.